Hey everyone, this is Kelsey and this is Essentially Booked. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. It has been a night. It is day 3 of Vlogmas. I'm filming the night before. My 4-year-old, my son, he has been like the worst sleeper for like a month plus, like waking up at 4 a.m. every day. And we finally, a month in, have him trained to play in the living room or in his bedroom before like coming into us. Like, but tonight, like, he was fighting sleep. He was thirsty. He was hungry. You know, it's super fun. So this is getting filmed a lot later than I was hoping it would. And I'm being a little quiet because his door is open. I'm also making some Chex Mix. I want to try a new recipe that I got from the new Half-Baked Harvest cookbook that my mother-in-law got me for my birthday. And so I'm going to be kind of getting up and doing that too. So this is just, it is what it is. It's Bookmas. Like 12 days of content, you're not going to get the best. I'm hoping tomorrow to be able to film like multiple videos so that I'm not feeling as pressured. And like, as a spoiler, I am not going to do like my best of videos until January. So you'll get my worst books, my best books in January, because I want to look at a full year before I make these decisions. And that goes with like my reading stats and stuff too. Okay, had to just go check on him. He's not asleep yet. We did get him a sleeping bag for Christmas, or my mom did. And so he's sleeping in that, which is kind of funny. But anyways, this video is going to be me talking about kind of my, like, the reading challenges and goals I have for 2025. So I don't even want to reflect on my reading goals from 2024 because 2024 ended up being a way different year than I intended. At the beginning of the year, I had no intention of leaving my job at Nationwide. I had no intention of jumping multiple careers this year, but I did. And we also went through kind of some really challenging things with our son for a period. And so it was just a year. So this was not a typical reading year. Honestly, I don't even feel like I've had that great of a reading year. I haven't read the number of books I wanted to read. So I'm not even going to reflect on my 2024 goals, really, because I didn't hit any of them. And I usually read when I'm doing well mentally. I read a lot. When I'm not doing well, I can't focus on anything. And so this year, like, I'm going to say this knowing that, remember, we don't compete. Like, reading is not a competition. I've only read 108 books this year when I usually read closer to 130. That's really not that bad, but it's just been a different type of year. So all that to say, I just don't care to look back at what I did. So this year, I am kind of going to keep it pretty simple. Like, I'm always going to be trying to read down my shelves. So that's the biggest overarching goal. So goal number 1, read down my shelves. And I'm excited when I go to look at my year-end stats. I think we will see some of that. So like, we will look at some goal stuff in a bit. But for now, number 1, read down my shelves. Be it NetGalley, I'd like to get my NetGalley percentage up more. I've stayed pretty consistent around like 40%, between 35 and 40% all year. Maybe I want to get that up to 50%. So I am going to participate in 2 reading challenges this year. And the first one, because I want to actually complete this, like, I think this is one of my completest goals. I am going to do the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. I do this every year, and I usually am like 60% completion. I actually have 3 reading challenges, sorry. So this is, I started kind of filling out some books that I want to read this year. I'll keep kind of looking at this, but I'm really going to focus on like NetGalley and owned books with this, and maybe book of the month. I want to continue to read down my book of the month. I'm going to have read like 15 plus of my book of the month this year, which I think is really good. So that's always loosely, I'm going to be looking to fill prompts with book of the month and NetGalley books because I want to either read those down or get better numbers. And then I found this challenge. I found her on YouTube or on BookTube. It's the 52 book club. The 52 book club. So I'll put a little graphic like right over here, but they have 52 prompts to like coincide with weeks of the year. So when I read this year, I am going to try when I make my TBRs. I think I am going back to TBR videos this year because I just feel like that helps me stay a little more organized on my goals. And after the chaotic year I had this year, I'm more like in tune with that and I'm not as much of a mood reader. So I think I need to do a TBR if I want to like strategically hit these goals. So this is really cool because there's 52 weeks. So every month I'm going to try to at least pick 4 books. And I think I'm just going to go in order. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when I do my January TBR, you will see the first 4 books. And we'll just go from there. So that will be kind of fun. And like I'm in 2 book clubs. I'm in the Modern Mrs. Darcy book club. So I would like to make sure I'm staying on top of those as well. So like on average, I'm reading 10 books a month, and with like the prompts I want to hit and everything, I think that's really doable. So I participate in 3 book clubs, and one is Modern Mrs. Darcy by Anne Bogle. I've been a member of it for like years, probably since 2016, which is crazy, like 8 years. And I have a bunch of books from her I haven't read even, like from that book club. So it's always kind of a goal, but it's a really fun, if you are looking for a book club, I'm not sponsored. So if you're looking for a book club because you can't find anybody near you, this is a really good online community, and they do a lot of classes and reading guides and things, and you can like chat in the forums with people, but I feel like it's a really cool way to interact with other readers, and they do everything from like highbrow classes to like lowbrow. I mean, it is all walks, but it's like if you want to have like a very intellectual book discussion, you can have it. If you just want to talk about what you're reading this week, you can also do that there. It's a really fun challenge, and she picks really good books, and then every month you meet virtually for book club talking about that book, and like 9 times out of 10 you're talking with the author, which is really cool. Sorry, I had to stir my Chex Mix. So Modern Mrs. Darcy, I'd like to keep up on those books. Then I'm in a book club with women from my church. This has been like a blessing. My church is the coolest. And we're all like, we're a very nerdy church, so there's lots of like Lord of the Rings references and stuff, but there's a group of us who are in a book club, and it's just been an absolute joy. And we read like, I feel like we read more literary books, which I appreciate. So this month we're reading Northwoods by Daniel Mason, which I need to actually like really get into here shortly, or I'm not gonna have it read in time because it's a heavy book. But like we've read such great books in this book club, and I always discover new books through this club. So that's the other book club I'm in. And then my third is the one with girls I met on Books to Agree On, who are now my best friends. And we kind of pick themes every year. So this year is female rage. And the first book we're reading is The Women That They Could Not Silence, or Who Could Not Be Silenced. So it's gonna be kind of fun to see what people come up with for these prompts, because that's just our prompt, female rage. So I don't know. If you have any good book recommendations for that prompt, drop them in the comments, because I don't remember which month is mine, but I will just take suggestions. So the other thing I'm toying with, it depends on interest, and I'm also going to float this on Instagram, is I've never read all of Anne of Green Gables. So I read the first 2 books. So I think it would be really fun to do an Anne of Green Gables read along in some capacity. So that's another like lofty goal I have this year, is to read all of Anne of Green Gables. Okay, so read books that I own, do the 2024 or 2025 reading challenge for Pop Sugar, the 52 book challenge, stay up with my book clubs. I did say there was a third, our fantasy bingo I need to finish, so I need to do an assessment of that, which I think I'll do as a like video for Bookmas. So yeah, I think because that runs till March, I believe, so I have 3 months to finish it. Probably won't do that, but we'll see. I've read a lot of fantasy this year. But yeah, that is my reading goals very loosely, and just focus on book of the month and NetGalley as much as possible, as well as just reading down my shelves in general. So those are the reading challenges I'm going to do this year. And I'm going to try to just be more intentional with my TBRs to try to hit these challenges. So again, if you are interested in Anne of Green Gables, or if you have book recommendations for female rage, interpret that how you want, drop it in the comments. But until Bookmas day number 4, I'll see you guys later.